Today we're going to be talking about biological drawings, and we're going to be using, backwards, we're going to be using the 5 important rules when we are creating a biological drawing of any type of biological specimen, whether it's something from under a microscope or something that we have here that you can see on a tile that you might find at the end of the year on a practical test. So this entire video is dedicated to just understanding biological drawings and how to do them correctly. So I'm going to use this example of a leaf that I've taped on here to this tile from one of my succulent plants that has not been doing so well and it fell off. So we're going to use this as our example. Now, with our biological drawings, you have 5 important rules. And I am actually going to draw this as if it were on my sheet of paper. So when you're working with biological drawings, they will always give you a square where you will place your drawing, and they will always give you the actual image that you are drawing. Now, for our first rule, your drawing should take up half of the space provided. Now, if we have a question that says draw the leaf and label any damage on the leaf. So let's say that was our test question. So draw the leaf and label any damage on the leaf. The first thing we need to keep in mind is that we need to take up at least half of the space provided. What this will actually go on and allow you to do is work through the image size, actual size, and magnification calculations that we'll see in an additional video. So if I have this right here, I'm going to take up at least half of the space provided. I'm also going to draw all of what is asked. So you can see clearly this little leaf has damage. So I'm going to need to draw that. Number 3 says do not shade or dot anything. So I can see some discoloration in my leaf, but I'm not going to shade that. I'm going to draw in the correct angle and orientation. My leaf is pointing at a diagonal. I'll bring it to y'all. So I'm going to draw that in the correct angle and orientation. Where you see the damage on this leaf, I'm not going to shade it, but I am going to draw it to where you can see that it's there. And then I'm going to use label lines correctly. So if I were doing this, I'm going to try to take up at least half of my space. So I've drawn a nice large leaf in my space. Now I'm on the board. You're going to be on paper. Your box isn't going to be this large because you aren't going to have paper this large. But just understand that you are taking up at least half of the space. You are going to draw all of what is asked. So here on my leaf, I have a couple areas of damage. You can see right here on this outer corner and then across from there. So let me go ahead and draw that in as it appears on the leaf. And if you will see, I am not shading or dotting anything. Cambridge tests typically describe this also as hatching, so no hatch marks. And then I've got this in the correct angle, correct orientation, and I need to label damage on the leaf. And what we're going to do here, I'm going to add one thing to my instructions that you're probably going to see often. Label any damage on the leaf with an X. You will see that very often on test questions. So what I would do is I would take a ruler, but I don't have a ruler with me for the board, but you have a ruler on any type of end of the year exam, and I would draw an incredibly straight line out from my drawing, very nice and neat, and I put my X right there on the outside of the drawing box. You do not label on the inside of this leaf. You draw that straight line using a ruler, label it X, and that is how you do a biological drawing.